I've had a few requests to do a short video on taunts in 3S, after a certain Reddit thread of someone complaining about people taunting against him online all the time. Unlike other Street Fighter games, taunts actually have a function in 3S. Mechanically, taunts work like special moves, and you can cancel into them. This occasionally helps you set them up. The bonuses that taunts confer only last until the end of the round. That means if someone does a post-KO taunt, they're taunting just to taunt. A few taunts actually have hitboxes, though this is really only useful for Dudley. Every taunt does something different, from increasing damage to defense to stun output to stun recovery. The only taunt that does absolutely nothing at all is a special taunt Makoto can do after a dash punch. The utility of taunts varies a lot. Some are useful, some have occasional or niche roles, and some are useless. I've tried to sort them in the order that I think are best to worst, but you're welcome to disagree. Far and away the best taunt in the game is Q's. It's pretty quick, and he gets a massive increase in defense. You can do 3 per round. After 3 taunts, he has effectively more than double the HP of a full health Yun or Yang. Even if he gets hit out of the taunt's recovery, as long as the screen shakes, he gets the defense boost. Naturally, since it's your damage taken that's dropping rather than your HP that's increasing, it's best to get these taunts as soon as possible. Against some characters, a blood taunt, where you purposefully get hit just to get the taunt off, is still mathematically worth it. This can be good against characters like Remy, 12, or Round 1 Chun, who don't have great damage output on their punishes. A large part of Q's metagame revolves around getting all 3 taunts up. Q players look for things like anti-air dash punch, anti-air slaps, air-to-air fierce, EX dash punch, and other hits which generally give them guaranteed time to get up a taunt or 2. Dudley's taunt throws a rose at the opponent. This is probably the most stylish taunt in the game, but it's also really good at stuffing the opponent's wake-up options. If they parry the rose, you can potentially throw them out of the parry. They can take this throw, but they can't interrupt it in any way. If they don't parry the rose, it means they have to go for red parries on your melee attacks, or just block them, which gives you a safer mix-up. It also just raises the damage of his next hit or combo. The safest time to get it off is after a super connect, especially in the corner, so the opponent can't quick stand. Ken Stomp works like Dudley's, minus the rose toss. Increased damage on the next combo, good after a super on a cornered opponent. Akuma's taunt increases the damage and stun of his next hit or combo. You'll often see Akuma players do it after a hard Tatsu combo where it's guaranteed, but it's fast enough you could potentially get it up in neutral, I guess. Makoto's taunt enormously increases the damage of her next combo. You can hold it for up to 3 animations. 2 level 1 taunts or 1 level 2 taunt confer the same boost, but it's so slow you'll never even get to. The level 3 taunt increases your stun recovery rate, and you can actually stack that one twice as well, but good luck doing that in a match. This is commonly used after her SA2 Touch of Stun combos to turn them into Touch of Death combos. Hugo's taunt is very similar to Q's, increasing his defense. Hugo has fewer opportunities to taunt though. He can taunt 4 times per round, but even with all 4 he has less health than 3 taunts Q, and Hugo starts with more health, so it shows that Q's increases are more drastic. Neutral throw and shoot down backbreaker are common times to taunt, but there are rarely any others. If you hold the taunt, you get increased damage on your next hit, combo, or throw, but you probably won't find time to do it. Yang's taunt also significantly increases the damage of his next hitter combo. You don't see it much, except after dizzies, which Yang tends to get a lot. Nekros is very similar to Yang's. He also gets a power increase, and frequently does it after dizzies. You can hold it, but holding it doesn't do anything, and it has a hitbox which looks pretty funny when it hits. Sean's taunt is okay, or maybe his toolset is so lacking that he desperately needs something like this. It's a tracking projectile like Dudley's, but it slightly increases stun instead of noticeably increasing damage. He has fewer opportunities to land it, and it has more recovery. Still, a meaty basketball can stuff the opponent's wake-up options, and if you're picking Sean, you're already taunting, so you might as well use it. Twelve's taunt is also okay. It turns him invisible. I think it's guaranteed after SA1 against most characters. Twelve can get instant air normals as overheads, or he can do lows, and the opponent can't see them. 12's movement is actually really good, especially when the opponent is blind, so it helps you reposition and bait too. Twelve can also safely attack from any range with NDL, so it's risky for the opponent to try and act while 12 is invisible. This is actually pretty abusable, but the taunt doesn't last very long. Yun's taunt increases the damage of his next hitter combo, more for each hat spin. It really takes too long to get a significant damage increase, and Yun doesn't dizzy people very often, so you never see it. Interestingly, the game actually lets you stack up to 8, which gives you a pretty crazy damage increase. Alex's is very similar to Yun's, but unlike Yun, Alex actually dizzies people. Still, after a dizzy, you've got to get close in time for a heavy chop, so you don't really have time to hold the taunt usually. Urian's taunt raises the damage of his next hitter combo, and it's a low you can cancel into, so you can actually use it as part of your Aegis mix-up if you want, but normal Aegis mix-ups are way better. Same problem as the others, you rarely have time to use it. Annoyingly, if the shockwave connects, it won't actually give you the damage boost. Ryu's taunt increases his dizzy recovery rate for the rest of the round. You can do up to 2, and the second one is dramatically better than the first. Some replayers try to get taunts off after EX fireballs and whatnot against opponents with high dizzy output, such as Denjin Ryu, Ying, or Oro. This is probably the worst taunt that's still practical to use. Oro's taunt recovers his stun only as long as he's holding it, but it recovers very quickly. If Oro confirms it out of Stand Strong, he can take the opportunity to recover some dizzy, but it's almost never worth it since Oro's struggles from Stand Strong take so long he'll just get the stun recovery anyway. Elena's taunt is a low like Urian's, which knocks the opponent into a juggle. Whether you hit the opponent or not, you get a stun damage increase on your next combo. Elena already has lows she can cancel into, and doesn't care about the extra stun output 99% of the time, so it's useless to my knowledge. Ibuki does a leapfrog. She can combo into it. It can be teched like a throw, or parried like a hit, or blocked. But if you get the leapfrog, your next combo damage is enormously increased. To get the power increase, you need to actually connect with the leapfrog, which will undizzy a dizzied opponent. For this reason alone, it's basically useless, since the opportunity cost of doing a taunt combo instead of a regular combo is too high most of the time. Chumley's taunt is probably the most complex one in the game. She yawns, then she randomly does one of 4 things. 1, she scratches her shoulder. This increases her defense by quite a lot, but you can't stack it. 2, she rocks her head. This increases the damage of her next hitter combo. 3, she stretches her back. This enormously raises her defense, more than the shoulder scratch, and also builds her a ton of super meter. This one's pretty rare. For what it's worth, Backstretch Chun has effectively more health than Hugo. 4, she does nothing after the yawn. The yawn itself increases your stun recovery rate, and that happens regardless of which taunt you get. Regardless of which one you get, this one takes forever, and what's worse, it'll randomly take significantly longer depending on your luck. Even though it has some of the best effects in the game, this taunt is asking to eat a full combo in literally any context. Finally, Remy's taunt takes almost as long as Chumley's, but the effect is much more useless. It increases his stun output. Remy never ever gets dizzies, even if you get a bunch of these. And there's absolutely no way to get it off safely. Even if you get a dizzy, then you don't need the extra stun output since you're not going to get another one that round. So I'd probably call this the worst taunt in the game mechanically, but that just makes it the best one when trying to tilt your opponent, right? I can't show him here, but Gil's taunt increases his damage output. It takes a ridiculously long time to finish, so it's basically a suicide button, but it's great for combo videos since it powers him up so much. That's all, hope you learned something.